They call me crazy sometimes for my stupid crazy builds in a limited, extremely limited build game called World of Tanks. I wouldn't call that crazy. I would call it desperately looking for different ways how to play this game differently, how to make this game a bit more fun sometimes. This is how I call it, ladies and gentlemen, because let's be honest over here. On light tanks, on medium tanks, on tank destroyer, we always use the same builds. But what happens if you try to pimp up light tank differently? If you want to pimp up medium tank a bit differently? If you want to test different things? You get stupid stuff like this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my today's episode, where I am going to show you two different vehicles featuring ramming build. Yes, featuring the ultimate ramming build. As good as I was basically able to get him, ladies and gentlemen. The good old legendary WZ-132-1, aka the Bulldozer and E50M. Of course, we have to talk about E50M as well. The ramming guard and AMX-50B is also kind of a ramming guard, believe it or not, but AMX-50B is not in today's episode. Our today's main guests are E50M and WZ-132-1. Now this one, of course, trying to ram anything with a light tank, it already sounds stupid. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. It already sounds stupid. It is stupid, right? But we still did it. We still tried to do that on the test server, of course. On the test server, we have all the things available. We're able to test. I'm able to use free experience freely. I'm able to pimp my crew members. I'm able to use all the equipment, stuff like that. So this is where we are in the update 1.9's test server, just to try out different things, right? So what we did on the WZ-132-1, we decided to build a ramming setup with ventilation, just to boost our driver skills a lot. So basically what you need to do, you need to have as good of a power to weight ratio, as good of a specific power ratio as possible, because you need to be at the top speed all the time. It doesn't matter of the terrain, or if you have to climb up the hill or slightly down the hill, it doesn't matter. You must have the best mobility possible, right? Combined with this equipment unit over here, Lightspot Liner, which is going to give you plus 20% to armor protection from ramming and explosions. This is the main thing over here. You are going to receive less damage when you ram something. On the top of that, plus 20% to protection of the crew injuries and minus 10% to stun duration, which is also nice. If you are stunned, well, basically you are going to get rid of the stun a bit faster and your mobility is going to be a bit better. So it actually buffs this build slightly on the background, actually. So equipment wise, this is the main thing. We're going to talk about this one a bit later. Guys. Okay. So equipment wise, this is the main thing. Secondly, I would say even more important, maybe even more important than this one over here, maybe, is driver. The entire skill tree on driver is so useful when building a ramming setup. You need off-road driving just to keep your mobility higher, just to make your mobility better at all the time. Reduces ground resistance when driving on soft and moderately soft terrain. Lower ground resistance increases vehicle maneuverability and acceleration. You need all that to have higher top speed, or to have higher speed, to maintain it, to ram stuff with higher speed. Yeah. You need this one. Increases vehicle traverse speed. The skill is cumulative with the effects of additional cruiser, all those things. You need this one as well. You want to have as good of a traverse speed as possible. You want to be as maneuverable as possible to lose or not to lose too much speed when moving around the battlefield. Of course, you need brothers in arms, because this is going to boost your driver, this is going to boost your everything. And the main thing, ladies and gentlemen, is this one over here. Controlled impact. This one, as we remember, equipment reduces the damage received, but this one decreases ramming damage to your vehicle and increases ramming damage to the enemy vehicle. So this is like the double. This gives like the double effect of the equipment unit you are going to use. Sadly, they do not say any percentages over here. Even after 7-8 years those skills have been in the game, they still have not added any percentages. We do not know how much they are going to do that. It can be like 5%, 10%, 20%, 100%. Nobody knows. Even after 7-8 years, they haven't bothered adding any percentages in the game, which sucks. So yeah, this skill is ineffective when two allied vehicles collide. Okay, so now it doesn't matter because we do not have team damage anyway. So controlled impact is what you have to do. Of course, brothers in arms on every single dude. Ventilation, improved combat rations just to boost the driver, ventilation just to boost the driver again. And ladies and gentlemen, this one over here, remove speed governor, plus 10% to engine power, but causes damage to the engine. It doesn't matter because we have reusable consumables now. This one gives you extra horsepower. As you can see, boom, 108 when activated. You have to click it to activate it, and you can click it again to deactivate it. But it gives you 108 horsepower to the engine, or yeah, to the engine, and which increases your specific power ratio by 3.56. You need that. Yes, I know. We're going to lose medkit, but just pray for your driver, pray for your commander. But mostly pray for your driver because you do not want to lose that. If you do that, your commander must have the Jack of all trades skill. And this is the main build on the WZ-132-1. And believe me, it is fun, even after I had to change my pants, after I got rushed down by 3 Sheridans who were playing in the platoon versus one ramming bulldozer on the top of the hill on Himmelsdorf. But you can see how much damage I did with a little gentle touch with my side. I did double the damage, ladies and gentlemen. And some at the end as well. So, yeah, I did have to change my pants because that surprised me. That kind of rushing surprised me. But still, it was fun. Anyway, it works. It is not the best, but it works. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about this thing over here, we have to switch the vehicle. Let's go into E50M. Okay, so quickly let's go over E50M's build. E50M, like how I was playing with this on the test server, I didn't pimp out all the crew skills. You can get it even better. The main thing, of course, you want to have is controlled impact. Secondary, I would say, is off-road driving. Then you would like to get T-clutch braking, smooth ride, finally, because you are not doing too much shooting anyway. Well, of course, you're shooting when you can shoot, stuff like that. But the main focus, of course, when testing this build was just to find those rammable tanks. And ho boy, we were able to do that. We were able to do that. Just check the gameplay in a moment. And now I'm using the same medium Spoliner, which is going to get on medium tanks. This is actually going to give you plus 25% protection to armor protection from ramming and explosions. And to crew members as well, I'm using the same ventilation over here. I'm using ventilation directive. I'm using food, of course. And over here, I am using the gasoline, which is always going to give me plus 10% to engine power and turret traverse speed for the course of the battle. And this is actually going to give me 120 extra horsepower and close to 2 extra power to weight ratio, which is really useful. Now let's talk about this thing over here. I didn't know how this is going to work. This was actually the first time I tested it out. During this stream, during this a little gameplay action and during this little test. As it says over here, plus 10% to suspension load capacity. Okay, you can carry more things, whatever. Plus 20% to suspension durability. This is actually nice. People maybe are not able to drag you too much. And dragging is the biggest enemy. If you're driving at someone with full speed, if you're doing that at full speed, ladies and gentlemen, and if you get dragged, just like 15 meters before getting your full speed ram. There is no bigger boner killer than this one. Really. So plus 20% protection to suspension durability. Okay. Now, minus 50% to hull damage caused by suspension damage during impact. This raised many questions while I was streaming in the chat. We were like 50-50. People didn't know how exactly this is going to impact your vehicle or how it protects your vehicle. Like, obvious thing to think would be when you fall, when you jump, 50% less damage to your hull when you jump, when you drop down from a cliff or something like that. Okay. But it also says minus 50% to hull damage caused by suspension damage during impact. If you ram something, you know, your tracks turn yellow sometimes. If you hit them with your tracks turn yellow during impact into an enemy vehicle. So I thought, what if you try to ram something on the angle like this? What if you try to ram someone and the first thing they are going to touch is your tracks? Does that also count as during an impact by suspension? We decided to test it out and take a look at this clip, ladies and gentlemen. E50M, keep in mind, E50M is 62.91 tons heavy vehicle. I'm going to ram Tier 10 Soviet Russian heavy tank ST2, which is heavier than E50M. But I am going to ram that guy. I am going to touch that guy at first. The beautiful tracking shot. I was actually trying to track that guy just to keep that guy standing still. Because I was going to ram that guy with my one side, with my first tracks. I was able to do that. And I did twice as much damage to the enemy Tier 10 heavy tank than I received in my Tier 10 medium tank. Twice as much damage. So is this suspension thing working like this when ramming? It really is going to seem like it. It really does seem like it. I don't know. And at the end of the same clip, there was STRV actually, who I rammed while driving up the hill, receiving 0 damage and dealing close to 200 damage. That was hilarious as well, actually. Like, guys, look at that steep hill. I was going up the hill. I did some ramming damage and received 0. That's funny. That's extra gasoline, engine, all the boosted drivers, mobility, stuff like that. Okay. Next up, let's take a look at one a bit more interesting battle, a bit more ramming action to main course. So, because this is a test server, we're able to do some stupid things over here, right? So, I decided to actually use this ridge over here, this little hill or pocket, I don't know how to call it, over here, just to give myself a little head start. You know what I mean, right? Just to give myself a little kickstart when someone is going to peek from the east. And as you can see from the minimap, Leopard 1 was actually thinking about going into the east. I don't know where this guy is at the moment, but luckily we have IS-4 who is moving in soon. So I'm literally waiting for that IS-4 to spot something that Leopard 1. I'm over here ready to start, ready to get my full speed right from the get-go using this little hill booster over here. EBR 105 is over there, and I really would like to ram Leopard 1 because Leopard 1 for this build is just perfect victim. Tier 10, a lot of hit points, and we can see that Leopard 1 is at full HP, still waiting once again, like test server, meme server. Let's wait for the perfect moment, and I actually know if IS-4 is going to stay over there, and while IS-4 is backing up now, that means he's actually receiving shots, he's not able to push them down, and maybe that makes Leopard 1 to move forward. That was my thinking. So still waiting, looking for Leopard 1. AMX 13105 has also been spotted over here. Who would be even better ramming target? I can easily take that guy out without receiving like any damage whatsoever. And as soon as Leopard 1 was spotted on the minimap, boom! Let's go full speed right from the get-go. Leopard 1 full HP, guys, ladies and gentlemen. IS-4 is going in. I'm just praying that this IS-4 is not going to stop me. Please don't stop me, IS-4. Leopard 1 over here and full speed ram, ladies and gentlemen. And now, wait for it, and boom. What just happened over here? What you just witnessed was I took out full HP Leopard 1, ladies and gentlemen, alone, by myself, in literally 8 seconds. It only took 2 shots plus the ramming to take out full HP Leopard 1. 8 seconds, 1800 damage. Because with my initial ramming, with my initial impact, 1111 damage done. What a beautiful number, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? I did more than 4 times the amount of damage than Leopard did to me. Plus 16, plus 33 by simply touching that guy. And now, let me show you some touching. Let me show you some double ramming action. No, we are not stopping over here, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this crazy clip. Progetto, AMX, hello guys, what is up? 400 damage into the booper, 517 damage done, 82 received as a return from the Progetto, and now I'm simply killing them by touching them. AMX 13105, actually one decent average roll needed, didn't happen. Let's make this guy dead by simply touching him once again. I do count Leopard 1, ramming 2 shots. I do count Progetto by putting 1 shot into that guy, plus all the ramming. AMX 13105 as well. This might be the sexiest ramming battle I have ever had, ladies and gentlemen. Testing it out with the suspension equipment unit. I still do not know if that works. It seemed to work. It seems to work if you ram something. You have noticed that as well. If you ram something, or if sometimes stupid light tanks even touch you, they track you. So it counts as an impact, right? It should count as an impact when something touches you, even with a tank, not simply a falling off from the terrain. It should count, but I don't know. No, I'm not 100% sure still. So if you have any more information, if you have done any more testing, just let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, this was, ladies and gentlemen, E50. Beautiful, beautiful ramming action on cliff. Victory, 15-8 victory. We were able to do a couple shots as well, but all in all, 1100 or 1111 ramming damage, 16, 33, 517, 55, 79, 76, 38, 46, 5, 32 ramming damage in this game. And ladies and gentlemen, this is stupid but extremely exciting and fun build I came up with during the stream. Yes, it is stupid, yes, it is not the most effective, yes, you should not try this at home, ladies and gentlemen, but it is hell of a fun. And boy, if you get those rammings, if you get those rams in, wow, you are going to be a happy, smiling player. But once again, do not try this at home, because for reasons. We are professionals over here, okay, we are professionals. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Well, I hope it was entertaining to watch at least, and hopefully it brings a bit more sun to your weekend. If it does, hit the like button. If it doesn't, hit the dislike button. As always, subscribe, notification squad, all those jazzes, and check out my Beast Mode Care store, because yes, YouTube is really, really bad at the moment. Minus 70-75% everywhere. So yeah, Beast Mode Care store, Patreon, check it out. Ways to support the channel. I get you next time. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Dez out.